Hi, I'm Jamie Collins, and we are here to talk about goal setting today. This is one of the Sparkle Committee's 12 educational sessions for our Seize the Day challenge. And I wanted to talk first of all about the big picture, really. None of this exercise, nutrition, diet, fitness, none of it is really easy, but it is ultimately worth it. I mean, we are really talking about our lifestyles, our health and wellness, the independence that we might enjoy when we're older in life, whether or not we'll be around and be capable of spending time and enjoying time with our children and our grandchildren as we grow older. So all of these things are tremendously worthwhile. The trouble for us is in the present day, being present and overcoming some of the obstacles that we have to deal with in order to achieve all of this. And that is where essentially goal setting comes into play. And I think that goal setting helps us make that bridge, make the bridge from the intention that we have of doing these things, the desires that we have to live a better life, and actually getting it done. Let me tell just a really brief story. There was a guy I knew. We were both living in very close proximity to a great health club, and we were both members. I was going every day, and he was not going every day. And I'd always ask him, why he wasn't going to the health club. He's got a membership. It's right there for him. He wants to go. It's obvious that he wants to be able to do this, but yet he wasn't getting it done at all, ever. And so, every day, not every day, but, on a regular basis, I'd ask him why he wasn't going, and one time he told me that he didn't have a gym bag. There was always some different excuse. This day he didn't have a gym bag. Well, the gym bag was really not the essential reason why. There was other reasons, right? But that's the excuse, sort of, that he offered at that point. There are plenty of excuses to use along the way. There's plenty of reasons not to do something. But essentially, we need to get from this point of the intention to do something. That we're all here, we're all looking at this, we're all considering this because we want to do something. So the intention is there. But how do you get to getting it done? And that's where goal setting is really involved. And you want to build a flimsy little bridge between your intentions and ultimately getting the job done, or do you build something sturdier that you can use to actually help you get across? And goal setting, having goals, having them written out even, and knowing what they are, allows you to focus on the things that help you get from point A to point B. So what I really want to focus on here today is something called SMART goals. You might have heard about SMART goals. A number of people would describe this differently, but I'm going to describe it my own unique way. And we're really talking about, from my perspective, SMART objectives as opposed to SMART goals. And I'm going to have, at the end of this, a sheet of this to hand out to you so you can copy it, you can fill it out, you can do whatever you want with it. It can be as easy as you want it to be, it can be as complex as you want it to be. We'll talk about doing it both the easy way, both the complex way. But the point is to really think about this so that you can fall back on these goals, fall back on the thought that you put into this to help you get through those times that you really need a little extra help. When I talk about goals, I think about sort of an overarching broad goal to begin with. Creating a healthier you, or being more fit, or living a healthy lifestyle. Those are kind of broad goals, sort of the big picture in mind, right? And what SMART objectives is the way I'll term it. Objectives are more specific, they're more measurable, the things that help you actually, the concrete things that you need to do to get from point A to point B. So I differentiate between the goals and objectives there. So At the top, I've just got this box that says big overarching goal underneath. We've got some other boxes to fill out, and if you were actually doing this, you could fill out as many of these or as much of it as you wanted to, be as detailed as you want. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound is what SMART, that acronym is, SMART goals. I've also got boxes here for obstacles, for solutions, and then the SMART objective that you would actually want to write down and follow for yourself is last. This SMART goal, again, is that overarching goal. Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to be healthier? Do you want to get fit? You know, what is your overarching sort of big goal? And then underneath here, think about each of these categories, these SMART objective categories, a little bit carefully, especially where it comes to specific, measurable, and time-bound. I mean, those are the three elements that you absolutely have to have some sort of objective here in the end. Specific, you know, answer the who, what, when, where, why, how, as much detail really as you can think of. So, you know, you're not just, you know, I want to lose weight, but I want to lose 10 pounds. Or, you know, it's not just I want to start running or I want to run. I want to run, you know, a 5K. This is the 5K I want to run. You know, be as specific as possible with that. Measurable is really, you know, when do you know that you've accomplished this objective? Is it, you know, when you have run this particular race, not just any 5K, but this one in the fall that you have your eyes set on? Is it, you know, having lost that X number of pounds? Is it, you know, what exactly are you going to measure your success by? Achievability, you know, you could write a lot of different things in this box. I tend to think of it as, you know, shooting high, shooting low. Where exactly do you want to shoot in the whole mix of things? The idea here is to have something that is doable. If somebody, for example, who had never really run before in their life came to me and said, you know, I want my objective to be to run this marathon this summer, that would maybe be an unreasonable, unachievable objective. So we may want to pull back on that. If somebody else came to me and said, you know, they're, say they're 30 pounds overweight, and they said, well, I want to lose 5 pounds. Maybe that's shooting a little bit low. Maybe you want to stretch that just a little bit more. It's all up to you, of course, but, you know, shoot somewhere that you're reaching out, you're trying to do something, you know, substantial, but something that is ultimately achievable for you. Relevancy, you know, use the word because when you go to fill this box out. Because, you know, my family is important to me. Because, you know, I want to be more fit and live a healthier lifestyle. You know, this is all about having what it is that you want to do, what it is that you want to achieve, be relevant to the overarching goal that you want, right? And then time-bound, again, that's, you know, part of that measurability. You know, when are you going to achieve this? You know, what type of, are we talking about, you know, in the next month? Are we talking about in 6 months or a year? And objectives, generally speaking, you don't want to be, you know, 3 months, 6 months, maybe a year out, you know, in a relatively short period of time, a manageable period of time, so you can see some progress, so that you can, you know that you're reaching your objective or not reaching your objective, right? So that's basically SMART goals or SMART objectives. You know, you've got a couple of other boxes here that you can fill out too in terms of obstacles and solutions. People along the way will always encounter obstacles, and you have to come up with ways to get around those obstacles. I mean, exercise, we all know the story. You know, there are a lot of people that set out on exercise programs, on eating right, on various ways to improve their health, and how many of those folks end up getting it done. And this is all about helping you find a way to get it done. The last box here is the actual objective, kind of boiling all this down, especially using the specific, the measurable, and the time-bound. Again, take the words that you put into those boxes and boil them down into this, one-sentence objective. I want to run a 5K at the end of, of July. It could be as simple as that, really. But having thought through some of these other things are going to help you get over those hurdles, those tough times, help you get from intention to getting this thing done. So, any questions?